Heyo guys, what's up and welcome to a new video. With the recent launch of Arena Breakout Infinite on Steam and Epic Games, I thought I'd share my personal knowledge to newer players of the game. These are tips that I learned as a new player and helped me grow along the way. And my goal is to help you succeed and collect as many wins in the Dark Zone. No long intro and straight to the point. Here are 10 tips to get you started with Arena Breakout Infinite. Let's start off with tip number 1. Pick the right weapon. For me, you don't just pick out what you think is good. Take your time to test out a weapon in the shooting range. Observe everything from bullet velocity, bullet type, recoil, firing power, reload speed, and what sight is best. You can easily study each one through the gunsmith through its weapon data and the shooting range for practicality. Although every raid is unpredictable, it's better to go into a raid having the confidence that the weapon you choose will work well for you and will be comfortable for you to use. Don't forget to save your weapon build as well so you can easily assemble it faster the next time you buy it. Tip number 2. Pick the right gear. This is divided into 6 important pieces of equipment, namely the helmet, the mask, the headset, the vest, the chest rig, and your backpack. You can easily mix and match with different sets and different tiers, but also take note of how much it affects your overall weight. As the heavier you are, the slower you run and the more stamina you consume. Some equipment have multiple uses. Some helmets have hearing support like you're already wearing a headset, some other helmets have built-in face covering with the lack of hearing aid, and even some chest rigs are already armored so that they can serve both of your chest protection and utility storage. It's quite obvious that higher tiers of armor are indeed better, but at the end of the barrel, depending on protection more than your skills at survival, will cost you more than you think. Check every piece of equipment you have, see what works well for you, save that gear loadout, and you are good to go. Tip number 3. Pick the right healing items. In this game, healing isn't as simple as pouring alcohol on your hand or simply pulling out a broken bone on your finger. There are various injuries that can happen to your character, and with each injury, a medical item is in place to treat that specific injury. First, we have bandages as your solution to bleeding. Second, we have painkillers for no shit pain relief. But do take note that this is extra important, as with greater pain, your character will moan and wheeze a lot and will make some noise and give your position away to other enemies. Third, we have surgical kits to treat any broken limb. These are body parts that turn black in color. And lastly, we have medkits to treat the general wound, colored red, and will also restore your health points. There are a variety of options to choose from, as like with gear. Some medical items can treat both bleeding and heal you at the same time. Some surgical kits can be used faster or longer with an exchange for health reduction or recovery. And most medicinal items like painkillers will make you thirsty even more. It may be a lot of information to take, but these things are very simple and easily understandable. Just take your time, check each medicinal item, and see what their pros and cons are, and choose the best one to your liking. Tip number 4. Pick the throwables you might need. There are options for you to pick from a wide range of grenades that can help you in the raid. Some will provide cover like smoke grenades, some will disorient enemies like a flash or a stun grenade, and most will be your source of offense to flush out enemies on a hard angle. These are frag grenades that you can choose from, and we can also include the gas grenade, as this also applies harm to your enemies but in a gradual way. These throwables can help you secure or even turn around a fight for a potential win. So always be aware of your situation and utilize every throwable you can use. Tip number 5. Bring your nourishment items. Arena Breakout Infinite embraces a semi-realistic approach, and connected to the health system is your hunger and thirst values. These values progressively decrease as the raid begins, and specific actions or events can also affect each one. As an example for specific actions, the usage of painkillers in the pill form will decrease your thirst values. So every time you use a painkiller, which will be a lot, you will notice your thirst levels go down significantly. One good tip is to consider bringing energy drinks or liquid painkillers instead. The only downside is that these are a one-time use compared to the usual painkiller pills, but will conserve your thirst levels a bit longer. Do also take note that these liquid PKs cost more than the pill version, so consider your options wisely. The next specific action is using a medical item like a medkit or a surgical kit. This kind of emulates blood loss in real life, which does affect your hydration levels. The better the medical item, the less hydration cost. Again, I do understand that these may be overwhelming to absorb at first hand, but for an easier read, I provided a simple chart for your reference. One very useful feature that combines all of the 5 tips in one go is the preset build feature. With this feature, you can select pre-built loadouts provided by the game, you can select the last loadout you built, and also save your current loadout as an option as well. This almost removes the time you need to spend in preparation and gets you into raiding so much faster. We are now set to raid in Kamona, but before we do so, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friend. Tip number 6. Learn the map and the spawn locations. This is easier said than done, yes, as it's more of a progressive learning with each raid. Most maps are not as complex, and the provided in-game maps allow you to visualize each point of interest in the map. You can easily study them before the raid at the lobby map menu. You can also look at them during the pre-raid loading timer, and even in raid, the viewing functionality of each detail of each map is the same as well. It's also easier to navigate in this version of the game since they've added location markers of safes, retrieval boxes, and extraction points. Part of map navigation is also practicing communication with your teammates if you have any. And if you are uncomfortable with voice comms, utilize quick messages that you can set up in the customization menu, or also make use of the ping marker system implemented in the game. Do be careful in using these specific voice chat messages.
Awesome. How's the hall looking? Ceasefire! Ceasefire! All according to plan.
As these will be heard by every player near you, including enemies. As I've mentioned, map study will be progressive, so don't pressure yourself, don't rush. Learn each point of interest, explore and loot them as you go, and you will be fine. Tip number 7. Gather information. Gathering information is very crucial in a tactical perspective. It's always challenging to spot enemies in this game, but taking notes of information, may it be visual or sound, will assist you in navigating around a raid. Visual information is spotting enemies within your line of sight. These are the information you can get on a definitive range where it can be near your vicinity. Audio information, on the other hand, has a wider range of provision as it gives you an idea of a general direction of where players are. The presence of NPCs in raids force every player to engage them and thus creates noise because of gunshots. Whether it was one bullet or more, it's still useful information for you. You can also factor in your helmet or headset selection, as some helmets will block sound and cannot equip headsets, where most helmets will allow headset usage but provides less protection for your head area. So it falls on what you prefer as your option in the loadout selection. If I could share my personal preference, I always equip the Commander A headsets as it gives me enough of a natural hearing aid compared to the G32. It comes off giving the sound cues too loud for me with that headset. As a final note, given the importance that sound cues have, try not to be over dependent on it, as your game sense and reaction time with gunfights are as important as well. Tip number 8 is loot smart, fast, and efficient. Now that's a bit of a demanding request, especially for a new player, and that's very understandable. When I say loot smart, I talk about being able to take items wherever you are, but also prioritizing your safety, as looting is when you are most vulnerable for an attack. Practice the no-look strategy that most players do. It's when as soon as you touch any searchable container or anything similar, you turn your camera into the most expected area of attack. As when you notice when your inventory screen is open, everything is darkened, but transparent enough for you to be able to see what's happening in your field of view. So simply search the container and look away. It's a funny thing to see firsthand, but this is how mostly everybody loots in the game. Now I also said loot fast, and what I meant here is anticipate what items will appear from the container you are searching. The last thing you want to happen is to find a very valuable item and waste time looking at it or admiring it and end up getting a headshot from a mile away. It's a good addition that the developers have also given color codes to loot depending on their value. Transparent are mostly the cheapest items, to blue, to purple, to gold, and finally red. These kinds of color indicators will help you immediately see which is a good item to keep. And lastly, I mentioned is efficiency. This is where your Tetris skills will be put to the test, as you need to be able to secure the most loot value with the provided inventory space you have. Don't limit yourself to just your bag, as you can also store items in your pockets, your safe container, your chest rig, and you can even go further by nesting storages by placing rigs in your bag or even bags in your bag to be able to collect the most loot you can find in the raid. By practicing these 3 traits of looting, you should be able to maximize your loot value in every raid. Tip number 9. Manage your stamina. Being that the game is taking a realistic approach, a semi-complex stamina system is applied. You have 2 bars of stamina on the bottom. one for any extra effort actions that involve movement like running, vaulting, and jumping. And the other bar mainly focuses only on your arm strength, which reflects with how long you can aim down a gun's scope or optic without any noticeable aim sway or shake. At certain situations like crossing a wide open area of the map, make sure you have more than enough stamina to run across to your next location, and even enough stamina to jump around to avoid shots. Yes, it may sound silly at first, but jumping around does make you a harder target to hit, especially on long range. In the same way with arm strength, keep in mind how much the value of your ergonomic statistic of your weapon is, as the lower the value this is, the more uncomfortable the gun is to aim, and clearly higher ergo is better. Make sure to manage that arm strength whenever you are holding angles or peeking with DMRs or sniper rifles. A couple of items to help you out would be endurance injections and other survival simulators that will give you an extension of your stamina to exceed the max value. And tip number 10 is secure your extraction point. It's quite obvious that extraction points ought to be your safe haven to exit the map and all the danger within it. By default, your extraction point will be the opposite end of where you spawned, but there will be some conditional extraction points along the way, where you will need specific requirements like searching a specific number of containers, killing enemy AI, and other simple tasks that will activate these conditional extraction points. But it's also a dangerous road to take, as other players may be doing the same thing and the conflict would be unavoidable. This is the culmination of everything you have learned so far, from preparation, map navigation, inventory management, and everything else, as winning gunfights and gathering so much loot is only part of the victory in Arena Breakout Infinite. So with the final stretch of your raid, make sure every corner is safe, make sure your legs can take you to safety, and when you see that red smoke, you are inches closer to your victory. Once you have made it and the red smoke clears, congratulations, you have done it. You've escaped to safety with a big W in your pocket, along with the juicy loot you have collected, and even if not, be proud that you survived to raid another day. But hey, it does not end here, as your next step is to do everything all over again. So the question is, are you ready? Well, then let's go. Kimona is waiting. I hope you found these 10 tips useful, and if it did, please slap a like on this video and subscribe for more Arena Breakout content. Also, I'd like to mention that if you are interested in buying these cool skins, weapons, and operator outfits at a discounted cost, you can use my code on BuffBuff to get up to 50% of discounts on your next top up. This is safe and will save you the cost plus helping me out along the way. Check out the code provided on the screen and also in the description below. Oh, and one final thing. This third season of ABI has a 3x3 secure case reward that you can get for free. So to secure your most valuable loot, make sure you finish those missions right away. That's it for me. Enjoy the game. Good luck on your raids. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.